morning children, new chapter 14 statistics. Every day we come across a wide variety of the informations in the form of facts, numerical figures, tables, graph, etc. This can be given by newspapers, any magazines like that. This fact or figures with a numerical or otherwise collected with a definite purpose, it is called as a data only. So when we are saying that just a number or a numerical factors, when it is given by the newspaper or magazines, we cannot say that it is a data, but it is with a definite purpose. If they are collecting the data, they are collecting the information, then it is called as a data. Data is the plural form of Latin word datum only. Data is the plural form of Latin word datum. This is all for just information only. It is an introduction based. They had given some information, that only. Every part of our lives utilizes the data in one form or the other. So it becomes essential for us to know how to extract meaningful informations from such a data. That means many informations are available further. So whatever we have required, that much only we need. From that, extraction should be done according to our purpose. This is done in our branch statistics. So the extraction of meaningful information is studied in the branch of mathematics called statistics. Statistics we have already came across because we already started in the lower classes in terms of data handling and all, mean, median, mode, that already started. Still we are giving the further little more explanation only. The word statistics appears to have been derived from the Latin word status, meaning political state. These all have just information sake we are giving. Just read it and take down the notes. In its origin, statistics was simply the collection of the data on different aspects of the life of the people useful to the state. Over the period of time, its scope broadened and statistics began to concern itself not only with the collection and presentation of the data, but also with interpretation and drawing of inferences from the data. That means just collecting the data was the beginning time. But later what happens? Collection also done, presentation also done, then interpretation started, and drawing the conclusions from the data also started. So statistics branch developed slowly. Statistics deals with the collection, organization, and analysis and interpretation of the data. These all four procedures we are doing in a statistics data only. First we'll collect, then we'll organize, then analysis had be taken place, then we are making the conclusions according to our purpose only. So drawing the meaningful informations. So statistics is the bigger branch only, one of the best branch also, which is having which deals with the collection, organization, and analysis and interpretation of the data. First step, that is collection of the data. When the information was collected by the investigator herself or himself with a definite objective in her or his mind, then the data is obtained called by primary data. That means a data is collected by the person, means who is collecting the data matters. The investigator himself or herself. Those who want the data, that man only collecting, then it is called a primary data. When the information was gathered from a source which already had the information stored, the data obtained is called a secondary. It's a secondary to that one. So secondary data, primary data, you should have the rough idea already. The such data which has been collected by someone else, that means which one? Secondary data is collected by someone else, is in another context, needs to be used with the great care, ensuring that the source are reliable. So we can see some examples. See, height of 20 students of your class. If we are calculating the mean height from your class means, and we ourselves only collecting. So suppose cadet number 1 only collecting all 20 students of the 20 students height, then he only calculating calculated by himself only for mean value, then this is called a primary data. Number of absentees in each day in your class for a month. So the absentee registers will be maintained. From that register only we are going and finding out how many are absentees, how many are absent on particular day, on each day of that month, and we are taking down that data seriously. Then it is called a primary data. Number of members in the families of your classmates. If you are asking the classmates and you are taking the information by yourself, then it is called a primary data. Height of the 15 plants in around or your school. The same way we are going and finding out the names of the 15 plants and its height, then we can say that it is a primary data. In the same way, this same information we can collect it from your friends also. See, height of 20 students of your class, without going to them, and we are finding that is cadet 1 is asking to cadet 2 and give the informations, that is the height. He may be collected by himself or he may be heard from somebody else also. That both the possibilities are there. So that is why when we are taking the data, or we know the purpose, then we should only collecting that one. Then primary data is reliable. When we are collecting or gathering the information from somebody else, then the reliability can be questioned. Number of absentees in each day in your class. If you are taking this data from just casually, if you are doing without referring our register book and all, then it is a secondary data. Number of members in the family of your classmate. Your classmates, we are not going to ask that classmate. We are saying that I heard that he may be having one more brother. Like that data if you are collecting, then it is not a good one and it is not a reliable one. Like that, whenever a data is collected by somebody else and we are using, then it is called a secondary data. Secondary data always taken with great care, because the purpose, we must know in which situation that person is collected and how much it is a recent one. It should not be an old one. Like that, we should ask and find out the questions, then only we can use it for our drawing the conclusions or analyzing or interpreting the data. So primary data only reliable at each and every time. Example, the mark obtained by 10 students in a mathematics test is given below: 55, 36, 95, 73, 60, 42, 25, 78, 75, 62. The data in this form is called a raw data, because how we are collected in that way only we kept it. We have not arranged in ascending order or descending order. We collected 55, then came 36, then 95. There is no order, nothing. How we have collected in its original form only we have kept it, so it is called as a raw data. The difference of the highest and the lowest values in the data is called a range of the data. So range in this case is 95 minus 25, it is equal to 70. See, this is already we have studied in lower class. I think in 7th class portion we have already studied it. So just a revision only for you. What is meant by raw data? In its original form is called as a raw data, and range means the highest minus the lowest observation is called as a range. So in this case range is equal to 70. Now the presentation of the data. You understood that what is the collection of the data, primary data and secondary data. Once the data is collected, we have to arrange them. That presentation should be done. For presenting, why we are doing the presentation of the data, it can be understood easily, and main features, whatever the main properties are there for the data, we can understand by mere glance. Like that we can do. That is why presentation is required. Now the question, let us see. Consider the marks obtained by 30 students in a class: 10, 20, 36, 92, 95, like that, 70, 60, 60, 88. So 30 students mark is written. Now after seeing this, we are not able to say that which is the highest, which is the lowest, how many are repeated, like that. So what we should do? We should do a frequency distribution table, which you have studied in the lower class itself. So marks and the number of students. The number of students students equal to frequency only. Here it is, we are taking the first column, that is mark only. Here frequency. So mark, below mark, we are not making that, whatever it is there, we are taking 10 is there, 10 we are take down, 20 we are take down, 36, 40, 50. We have kept in a ascending order. See, 10, 20, 36, 40, 50, 56, like that. Each observations, whichever is coming there, we have written. If you see that one, 10 is repeated one time, so the frequency means number of students only. 20 is also one time, but 36, if you check, you can see that it is repeated 3 times. 44 times, 53 times, 56 2 times, 64 times, 74 times, 72 1 time, 80 also one time, 88 2 times, and 92 3 times, 95 one time. So total, if you check, it is again equal to 30 students only. This type of the frequency distribution is called ungrouped frequency distributions table, or simply we can say that frequency distribution table. So here what we'll have, the data is arranged in each observations. There is no grouping we had done. 10 is there, 10 we have taken. 20 is there, 20 we have taken. 36 is there, 36 we have taken. So it is called as a ungrouped frequency distribution table or frequency distribution table. So if you don't know, that means we can go for the question itself. Then you can count how many 10 is there, how many 20 is there, how many 36 is there, how many 40 is there. Now you can see that below 20 or below 36, how many students are there? 2 students are there. Below 50, how many students are there? Below 50 means 50 is not included. 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 2 9. 9 students' score is less than 50 only. Now who scored, how many students scored above 90? 92 is also there, 95 is there, 92 3 students are there. So 3 plus 1 4 students totally scored above 90. Like that we can make the conclusions from this table easily compared to our raw data, right? So when the table is given, the presentation is done, we can understand the data easily and we can draw the conclusions from that one. Now what is the name of this type of the frequency distribution? It is called a ungrouped frequency distribution table or a frequency distribution table. 100 plants each were planted in 100 schools during Vana Mahotsava. After 1 month, the number of plants that survived were recorded as 95, 67, 28, 32, 65, 65, 69, 33, 98, 96. Only the first row only I have read, that is 10 plants. Okay, 10 plants were read only, the remaining are there, 100 plants are there. Now what is the question is given, the number of plants that were survived. Now here you see, this is 100 observations are there, 100 observations are there, from 100 school 100 observations will get. So that means it is a very large data. So after seeing this data, which is the lowest score, which is the highest score, it is very difficult to judge. And if we go for the previous method, that is ungrouped frequency distribution table, still it is a lengthy process only. So we should do for a grouping method, that is called condensing the data. Here the presentation should be done in a condensed way, so that make a little more sense for identifying or interpreting or drawing the conclusions easily for an observer. So that is why we have to do a grouped frequency distribution table only. Let us see how to do that one. How we have done that one, we can see the table now. So we have made a group like that, 20 to 29. So 20 repeated how many times, 21 repeated how many times, 29 repeated how many times. All these, if you check, 20 to 29 are coming 3 times only. So 3 observations are there. We will, using the tally mark, we can make the table. Now 30 to 39, we can, if you check, 14 observations you will get. So the purpose of this group, already you have studied a tally mark, number of students, making the frequency and all we have studied only. Just I would like to say that this way, if you are condensing the data, then our interpretations or drawing the conclusions will be more easy, and it is a less time required for anyone to interpret the things. So we have made the class intro like that, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, next 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, it is 80 only, 90 to 99, then total. then corresponding frequencies are, with the help of the tally mark, we can make that 3, 14, 12, 8, 18, 10, 23, 12. Total you will get 100. Presenting this data in this form simplifies and condenses the data and enables us to observe certain important features, at a glance only. So it is very helpful, and without wasting much time we can draw the conclusion. This is called a grouped frequency distribution table. This is called a grouped frequency distribution table. So two types of distribution table we have studied, which is first one is ungrouped frequency distribution table, second one is a grouped frequency distribution table. When the data is large, we should go for a grouped frequency distribution table. When we are saying that a grouped frequency distribution table, there is a limitation that when we are saying that 20 to 29 3 observations are there, we don't know. If you are having the original observation, then we can check and tell, but otherwise what we can tell, the 3 observations are lies between 20 to 29. It may be 20, it may be 21, it may be 28 also, like that we can say. So that is the drawback of this one. We don't know exact which observation until we have the original data with us. So just if you are having this table with us, then we can say that 3 observations are between 20 and 29, including 20 and 29 also, like that we can say. Now 14 observations are between the range 30 to 39. Sometimes it is equal to 30 and sometimes it is equal to 39. This type of the frequency distribution table is called a grouped frequency distribution table. So the previous one was ungrouped frequency distribution table. There you cannot see any class interval, like this grouping is not done. Single observations we have written. So when we are having the data, means raw data, we have to present. Our collection is over, means we have to present the data. Presenting data we can do in a two frequency distribution table method. One is ungrouped distribution table method, another one is a grouped frequency distribution table. So whatever terms related to grouped frequency distribution table we can learn in the next class. With this, today's class I am winding up. Thank you.